This is the story of how I ended up with my name on a perfume bottle. Wild. And again, this would not have been possible without you guys. Crazy. It's a crazy story. It really is. Funny, so buckle up. It's a yap session. I'm just gonna yap. I'm just gonna explain it, just how I explained it to my friends and family. Okay. This is just one of those stories that it's like, honestly, right place, right time. It's like every star just aligned perfectly. So in the summer, I released a video of my favorite niche fragrance of all time, which happens to be the original of this. This brand decided to come out with their own version of it. I don't know why, genuinely. It's just one of those things. They kind of time things. I feel like the original started to get hot around the end of August, September. And I feel like they just figured it was a good time to come out with a really good version of it. I was invited out to Dubai for Beauty World. Literally the week before the show happened, I wasn't even going. I was invited onto Rayhan's yacht party that they had, and they had these bottles all over the boat. And I had sprayed it the day before because I had heard that this was a dupe of my favorite fragrance, and I was like, let me see. And I remember trying it the day before, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, these brands, they did it again. So the night of the party, Leah and myself were by ourselves in the corner, and the owner of Rayhan comes to speak to me. And we just got to chatting. He was asking Leah what she does for work, what I do. He asked if I do this full time. I said, no, I own a production company at home. And he's like, really? He said, are you able to do like product videos? He said he's looking for someone to basically make videos of his new perfumes. I was like, yeah, we can. We don't really specialize in stuff like that. We specialize in automotive. And then it quickly shifted to, he said, you're known for loving the original fragrance. He said, what do you think of my version? And I said, honestly, sir, it's the best. I told him I had tried 4 prior. I said, it's the best one so far in terms of smell. I said, however, the performance on it, and again, this is really weird. It's really weird to be like face to face with the owner of this company and telling him to his face, smells fantastic, but your performance isn't that great. I said, I only got like 3 to 4 hours from it, which is on par with a lot of dupes. I said, but your smell is really, really good. But you know, it's okay. And he said, what do I have to do to get you involved? I was like, oh, I was like, I'll happily do a video with this because it's the best one that I've tried. I was like, I'll happily do a video. So basically he kept asking me things on like what was off with it, what they could do to improve it. And I said to him, I said, am I consulting you right now? Joking. I was being a little cheeky, but I was like, am I consulting you right now? And he said, listen, if you want to license your name on it, let's do it. But what do I need to do to make this perfect? And I said, I can't remember if I was like, really? I was like, you want me to? I brushed it off and I said, I could help you. Conversation kind of like shifted back to personal stuff, where he's from, et cetera, et cetera. And then at the end of the night, he said, listen, I'm serious. He said, if you don't think it's right, I would love your input. And if you want, you can license your name to it. I didn't really take it seriously at the time, but the next morning, I'm just gonna shoot straight with you guys here. The next morning, I realized that there was a product coming out that was fantastic. And I had essentially just been offered, I don't know if I would use once in a lifetime, but I think anytime you're in a situation where you can license your name to something is crazy. And I think for myself, I realized I needed to take advantage of that moment. So I went to meet with him and I said, we can do it, but there's a lot. I said, there's a lot you have to fix in order for me to license my name to it. And he said, what is it? I said, well, the smell is just a little off. I can't call it like a 1-for-1 on the dry down, and the performance is just not great. I said, and the only way I'd ever license my name to you is if you beat the original in terms of performance, and the smell's got to be within 95%. It has to be. So we quickly hammered out the numbers, which was wild. We did that really, really fast. Really, really fast. And once the numbers were agreed to, he then told me that the only way they could fix the performance on it, and the reason brands don't do it, is because it's expensive. He said that, so basically the first version that was coming out was 20% perfume oil. And he said, we'll try some versions with 25. And if we need to, we'll go to 30. But he said it's expensive. And I said, damn, that's crazy. Literally hit him with, damn, that's crazy. I flew back to Phoenix, and 2 days later, they overnighted about 20, I can't remember the amount, but about 20 of these, all different versions, different scent profiles, different perfume oil mixtures. And for about a month, I went back and forth testing. I tested like layering combinations. I tested obviously performance on skin, paper, clothes. I tested as much as I possibly could. And then it was really between one version at 30%, one version at 25%. But for me overall, I just preferred the 30 because like I could stand 10 toes down and be like, no, this lasts way longer. 25, I'd say was equal, slightly better. 30% was like, clapped it. So once that was done, that's when the lawyers had to get involved with contracts and stuff like that. It was really interesting. It was just really, really interesting to like do this for myself. I've always had the wish or the goal, the hope that one day I could do my own fragrance, but licensing my name never popped into my head that was like a possibility. I've only been doing this 6 months, and at that time it was 4 months. So it was weird. It was just really, really weird to think that like a brand took, and it's an honor actually for us, for our community. It's an honor that a brand took what you guys have done for this channel seriously enough to where it was important for them to get this all done. So it was really, really cool. A really wild experience. When I think back on like the OG version of this, that was the original fragrance that got me into blind buying. So stick with me here. That was my first fragrance that I blind bought. That was expensive and it was a win. That then started off the chain reaction of blind buying, which then led me like 2 years down the road of like, okay, this is becoming a bit of a problem. I need to start creating content to offset that. Like hopefully I can get free bottles in. And then the funniest thing about that, if you watch my original review of that, I said one of my favorite things about the fragrance is it makes me feel like the Prince of Dubai. To then end up in Dubai, licensing my name to a dupe of that. It was weird, and that's why at the start of this video I said like the stars all just like lined like perfectly. It was weird. It's spooky. It's a little spooky how it worked out, but sometimes things just work out like that, don't they? It's just a really, really cool life experience is what I would say it was. Really, really cool life experience. Yeah, and it's just, I think my message, my reminder is it's always, you have to just stay true to yourself and be authentic, because I told the owner to his face that it was a good fragrance, but the performance wasn't great and the smell was a little bit off. And I feel like he respected that moment, because I don't know when people meet these owners, I don't know if they just sugarcoat things or they just say things to appease them. I don't know, but for me, I didn't need to lie to him about anything. But yeah, I just told him your smell's good, it's a little off, and the performance isn't that great. And I think it quickly sparked something in him that like, okay, if this person who loves this fragrance quickly picked up that there's things off, maybe it's in my best interest to bring him on board. One day I'd like to, maybe I'd like to do like a long sit down with him. I'd like him to go over his version of it too. I'd like him to tell the story of what I asked for, numbers wise. It's the cheekiest thing I've ever done, but hey, shoot or shoot, okay? One day, hopefully, I can get like permission from him to share what I asked for, because it's jokes. It's absolute jokes. But listen, I found myself in a situation I didn't think I was ever gonna be in. I shot. Shooters shoot. I shot from the bleachers down 25. From behind the bleachers, blindfolded, I shot and I missed, but I still shot. I still shot. So yeah, that's the story of how in 4 months, you guys created an environment for myself to have ended up with my name on a bottle. And the coolest thing so far is like genuinely the reviews that are coming in for this are really, really cool to see. It was scary. It was really scary to put my name on this because I know that this scent is not for everybody, but I also know a lot of people who try it for the first time end up loving it. It's divisive like Ombre Nomad, but not as extreme as that. But definitely people either love the scent or they hate it. And so far, people are liking it. And I'm just really, really glad that I had a small part. Because again, remember, I came on really, really late. I had a small part in bringing this scent profile to the masses for under 40 bucks is really cool to be a part of, for me personally. So yeah, who knows what's next for us on this channel? I don't know. But like I said, from I think my 10,000 video, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just holding on and I'm enjoying every moment and opportunity that comes my way with it. And yeah, I just promise to you guys that I'm always gonna remember that it's because of you guys, and I'm gonna keep trying to do as much as I possibly can for the community. Because for me personally, like without my community, there's nothing, absolutely nothing. So yeah, thank you guys for all the support. I hope if you've purchased this, you're loving it. And yeah, at the moment, I feel like my first tiptoe into the world of releasing a fragrance is going good. So I'm gassed about that. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.